Hey there, and welcome to today's Explainer. If you're an 8th grade student looking to totally conquer algebra, well, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're talking about a concept that acts kind of like a master key. We're going to look at unlocking solutions by solving quadratic equations using square roots. Think of this lesson as an empowering tool. We are literally going to unlock algebraic equations that might look a bit intimidating at first glance, but are actually incredibly satisfying to solve once you know the secret.
So let's dive right into this. You might be wondering, why do we even need to solve these kinds of equations in the first place? Well, imagine trying to find out exactly how high a basketball goes when you toss it straight up in the air. Or let's think bigger. How far does a rocket have to travel to reach a specific altitude in orbit? This isn't just random math. Isolating squared variables is the exact math used every single day in science, engineering, and design. When we learn how to isolate and solve these equations, we discover how math connects directly to the real world around us. And honestly, this brilliantly illustrates a much deeper principle. Just as we use math to unlock the hidden variables inside an equation, there's actually a spiritual truth to this kind of discovery too. Jeremiah 33:3 says, "Call to me and I will answer you and tell you great and unsearchable things you do not know." Solving by square roots helps us unlock solutions that are hidden inside squares, which is exactly like how God reveals hidden, unsearchable truths when we seek Him out. It's all about pursuing what's hidden and bringing it to light. All right, here's our game plan for today. We're going to cover the big idea, the core math steps, some guided practice with simple squares, fractions, and binomials. Then we'll do some independent practice, and finally, we'll talk about the higher purpose of education.
Section 1. Unlocking the big idea. No factoring required.
Okay, if you've been doing complicated polynomial factoring lately, I want you to just take a deep breath. Because guess what? Some quadratic equations don't need to be factored at all. No way. We can just isolate the squared term and take the square root of both sides. It's a real game changer. Today, you're going to master 3 simple skills: isolating the squared variable, taking the square root of both sides, and recognizing when answers need both a positive and a negative root. Mastering these 3 simple steps is a completely crucial stepping stone to advanced math, like quadratic formulas and imaginary numbers.
Moving right along to Section 2. The core math steps. The golden rule. Before we even start crunching numbers, you've got to lock this golden rule in your brain. Every positive square root has 2 answers, a positive and a negative. We write this with a little plus or minus sign. Now, why is that? Well, think about it. 7 times 7 is 49, but negative 7 times negative 7 is also 49. Remembering this little plus or minus sign is literally the master key to unlocking the right answers. If you forget it, you're only getting half the solution, and we definitely don't want that. Section 3. Example 1. Simple squares. Let's do a little guided practice.
So let's solve x squared equals 49 together. Step 1. Because the x squared is already isolated, we just take the square root of both sides. The square root of x squared is just x, and on the other side we write plus or minus the square root of 49. Step 2. Now we simplify. What times itself equals 49? 7. So x equals plus or minus 7. And finally, step 3, our conclusion. X equals 7 or x equals negative 7. 3 super easy steps, 2 solutions, all unlocked by our golden rule. Section 4. Example 2. Fractions and binomials. It's time to level up. Look, I know fractions usually make us want to run for the hills, right? But hold on, check out this shortcut. We're solving x squared equals 25 over 4. Step 1. Take the square root of both sides. So x equals plus or minus the square root of 25 over 4. Step 2. How in the world do we simplify this? Well, you treat it like a mathematical cheat code. You just take the square root of the top number and the square root of the bottom number. It's that simple. The square root of 25 is 5, and the square root of 4 is 2. So x equals plus or minus 5 over 2. And step 3, our conclusion. X equals 5 halves, or x equals negative 5 halves. It's the exact same logic we just learned, just with one extra little layer. All right, now what about a perfect square binomial where we have a whole group in parentheses? Let's solve open parentheses x minus 5, close parentheses, squared equals 36. Now, the absolutely critical rule here is that you must take the root of the entire group first. So, step 1, take the square root of both sides. The square root cancels out the square on the left, leaving us with just x minus 5. On the right, the square root of 36 gives us plus or minus 6. Step 2, now we split it up into 2 separate equations to solve. X minus 5 equals positive 6, and x minus 5 equals negative 6. Just add 5 to both sides for both equations. For that first one, 6 plus 5 is 11. For the second one, negative 6 plus 5 is negative 1. Conclusion, x equals 11 or x equals negative 1. See, you just leveled up your math skills for real. Section 5. Your turn. Independent practice. Okay, I'm officially passing the baton to you. Math is definitely not a spectator sport. So go ahead and pause this explainer right here, grab some paper, and tackle these 5 equations using the steps we just practiced. It's a great way to build your mathematical confidence. You've totally got this.
And welcome back. Section 6, Education and Biblical Morality, the Higher Purpose. So why do we even learn all this? Well, the Smart Academy Godly Learners series intertwines biblical morality directly with academics. And why is that? Because education without morality will ultimately just lead to hurt. Think about it for a second. What is the actual point of being incredibly smart, highly educated, and capable of solving really complex equations if we continue to make bad, immoral choices that hurt ourselves and the people around us? A sharp mind is a wonderful tool, but without a moral compass, it can do real damage. True success in life requires both the intelligence to understand the world and strong morals to navigate it wisely. And that really brings us to our final thought today. The Bible tells us in Romans 8:6-7 that there is a promise of peace of mind to everyone who keeps his or her mind spiritual. When we combine academic excellence with a spirit-led, moral life, the result isn't just intelligence, it's profound peace. So as we wrap up today's explainer, I want to leave you with this question. Now that you have the tools to unlock these complex equations, how are you going to use your newly unlocked knowledge and your spiritual mind to pursue true peace and success today? Thanks so much for joining me, and keep learning.